Welcome back to Think Thrice Problem Solving. Today we're going to be solving a fun problem that at first looks relatively innocent, then looks really complicated, and then looks a little bit innocent again. So we have the square root of x plus the square root of negative x equals 2. So a couple square roots. It looks like we should be able to solve this in a pretty straightforward manner until we notice something special. So if you want to pause this video and try it on your own, go ahead and do so. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and jump into a solution. So the problem here comes with this negative sign. So if x is a positive number, then that means negative x is a negative number. So obviously 0 won't work because square root of 0 plus square root of 0 is 0. Not true. And if I have any other number, then I'm going to have the square root of a negative number in one of these guys. What does that mean? That means that I'm about to take a journey into imagination land and do a complex problem. So let's look at this, and let's rewrite this now. So I see that I have the square root of x plus, and then I have the square root of negative x. And in complex world, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, notice that that's the square root of negative 1 times the square root of x. And this is going to be equal to 2. This guy right here, I'm going to write in as I. So I is the root of x squared equal negative 1. So sometimes we write it as square root of negative 1, but we have to be a little bit careful. So we have root x plus I times root x is equal to 2. So I'm going to write that now as root x times 1 plus I is equal to 2, which means that root x is equal to 2 divided by 1 plus I. Okay, and now I can do something here. So I notice that I have root x on the left. So let's go ahead and square this. And we'll also square the right side. And what I'm going to be left with is x is equal to, on the top, I'm just going to have 2 squared, which is 4. And on the bottom, I'm going to have 1 plus I times 1 plus I. And this is where we have to be a little bit careful with complex variables. So we're going to have 4 divided by 1 plus I times 1 plus I is going to be 1 plus I squared. I squared is negative 1, so 1 plus negative 1. And then plus 2 times I. So these two guys kill each other. And I'm going to be left with 4 over 2I. If I multiply the top and the bottom by I, then this is going to be 4 divided by 2 is 2, so I'm going to be left with 2I, but not just 2I. So I'm going to have 2I, and then that's going to be divided by I times I. I times I is negative 1, so I'm going to get negative 2I. So at least one solution here is going to be negative 2I. This is where we get into a little bit of thought process into how we created this. So notice when we started out, we called this a negative x and this x. But I could have switched those signs. So there's actually different branches to the equation here. So if I switch these, then I'm also obviously going to have a solution where x is equal to positive 2I. All I'm doing is changing the sign. So my solution set is going to be x is equal to positive or negative 2I. And that is our solution. So I hope you enjoyed working through that quick problem with me. If you did, please like and subscribe. As you're working through problems on your own, think twice, think once, think twice, and if you really get lost, think thrice. Thanks.